Hello and welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and I've been having some fun in the last couple of days posting my Wordle attempts. I know everybody gets awash with other people's Wordle results, but mine are in videos on the channel. The first one was meant to be a short, but I got something wrong with the aspect ratio set up, thanks to Ranks and to Simon for their advice, and today I managed to post a successful short, but you can watch both solves on the channel. One's in the shorts and one isn't. If you're interested in Wordle and you know English words, it's a very popular game, so do have a look at that if you're interested. Now, also it's not many days now because February's a short month. In, I reckon, 3 days we're going to be putting up some new Patreon content, so I'm really looking forward to that. No, it's not, it's 4 days, I can't count at all, which doesn't augur well for this puzzle, which has cages in it that I'm going to need to count. Anyway, yeah, that's going to be on Patreon. Do look on all the links under the video for our back catalogue, our merch, our apps. Everything connected with the channel is there at the moment. Do check it out. Now, given the events of the last couple of days, I thought it might be nice to look back in all the puzzles we get sent. We get at least a dozen every day, and we did have one in September from Ukraine. So I'm going to solve this puzzle by Yaroslav, who sent it in to us as his first attempt at a Sudoku. Obviously, it may not bring him any comfort at the moment, and I understand that, but maybe one day it will. Maybe that day will come sooner than we all fear. Anyway, this is by Yaroslav Koval, I think, who it goes by the name Yar, which sounds more like a West Country pirate than a Ukrainian to me. But this is called Regional Arrows, and given the events, I'm going to try hard not to mention things like Little Killer and Killer Cages and Deadly Pattern, but I'm sure we will get that wrong at some point. Anyway, you know, my heart goes out to Yaroslav and all his friends and everybody there. It is a very tough time. Do give this a try on the link under the video. It is the first link given under the video, and this puzzle consists of, well, not normal Sudoku rules, because we don't have the regular boxes. We're going to need to put 1 to 9 in every row and column, and every marked region, like that one, will contain 1 to 9. So this is called an irregular Sudoku. I haven't done one on the channel for a while, so that's good. Digits in cages don't repeat and sum to the totals given, so those 4 cells will add up to 20. Digits along arrows sum to the number in the attached circle. So those 3 will add up to that one. A clue outside the grid, that's this one, shows the sum of the indicated diagonal, which may contain repeat digits. So those 5 digits might include another 2, for instance, and will add up to 16. And that's it, I think. That must sum up all the rules. Now, that's a few rules, but they are fairly clear. If you've seen Arrow Sudoku and these clues on the diagonals before, you should be fine with the ideas involved here. And I'm going to try it now. So let's get cracking. And we can say that the 13 cage, which is in a region that already has a 2 in it, that's the only given digit that's not a 9 out of the 5 that Yaroslav has kindly given us. That must be 1, 3, 4, 5. They're the 4 smallest digits apart from 2. They add up to 13, so they have to go in there. This group of cells now is 6, 7, 8, 9. Now I'm getting excited about the diagonal. Minimum there is now 6, 8. I suppose that could be a 1. Oh, and then this could be a 1 and 2, so 12. 12 is too low. That's 4 degrees of freedom. It doesn't really help us. Doesn't limit the possibilities in either of those cells, for instance. But this diagonal clue, that does help us. Right, those 2 are in one cage. The minimum values are 1 and 2. These 3 are all together in another cage. So that's a 1, 2, 3 triple. I know this because taking all the minimums gives exactly 9. So that must be what we're looking at. Now, that might be interesting because every other cell in this cage is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Actually, it's not that helpful, I don't think. 26 cage, and we've had a 9. It's exactly the opposite of this. The next 4 biggest digits after 9 are 8, 7, 6, 5. They add up to 26. You can do that because 8 and 5 is 13, and the inside digits must also be 13. So the other cells in that box, I'm not afraid to pencil mark lots of candidates. They are 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this isn't racing along, is it? This has to be 6, 7, 8 or 9 as well, because it's on this arrow, well actually on this arrow too, all the cells see each other. And that means they have to be at least 1, 2, 3, and this therefore has to be at least 6. And that is giving us a quadruple. In fact, that digit will be the same as that one. And that's really good. Look, these two cells see the 1, 2, 3 triple in their box, in their region, and that 6, 7, 8, 9 in their column. So they have to be 4 and 5. This is a 6, 7, 8 triple now. That one can't be 8 because this number in the circle is bigger. So that's not 6. This number has to be less than 5. I'm not sure beyond that. These are part of 1, 2, 3 in the column. Doesn't really help with that. I don't think these other... those two maybe aren't the most useful cages. By the way, I'm looking at these cages in the corner. First of all, before I get to the cage in the bottom left, I'm looking at the cages in the corners and thinking, Fistamafel ring? No, don't think that those 4 cages will contain the same digits as this ring, because I'm pretty sure it doesn't apply to irregular puzzles. It only applies to regular 3x3 box Sudokus, so not the case. Now, this 20, this is a little interesting at least, because those two add up to that. So the combination of those 3 cells is even. So to make up the total to 20, that's also even. And it's not 2, because you'd need 9 there and 9 there, and this cell clearly can't be a 9. Now, if it was 4, we've got 16 in the others, that would be an 8. If it's 6, we've got 14, that will be a 7. If it's 8, we've got 12, that will be a 6, which didn't come out. There we go. I don't quite know what to do with that. 9. Can I limit these? Not really. These two, the maximum, that can't be a 9, because we've got this given 9, obviously. Now, the maximum they can add up to is 17, but those obviously add up to 13, and these other cells will make up the total to what is now a maximum of 17. So, these can be 1 and 3 at the most, and otherwise they're 1 and 2, and they definitely include a 1. So that's not a 1. These now are either 9, 8 or 9, 7, because the least these can add up to is 13 there, and 3 there is 16. So they have to have a 9 in, and we know where that is. That is here. This now is 7 or 8. And does that let us... It doesn't let us solve. This can't be 1, 2 or 3 now, because that total would add up to 6. We also knew that 9 was going to end up there. I've just remembered that. This can't be 1, 2 or 3. I think it can be anything from 4, 5 or 6 at the moment. It just depends how those two are disposed. Yeah, I don't think we can go beyond that now. There's a 1 here. Doesn't feel very... I'm just missing something here. That could be 1, 3, 5 or 3, 2, 4. There's no 6 in it. So there's definitely a 3 on this arrow. Which probably doesn't do anything. There's definitely a 1 on this arrow because it adds up to 7 or 8. But again, actually, there's a 1 on both arrows, isn't there? Because there's a 1 in this pair of cells, and there's a 1 in this cage. Yes. So this can't be 2, 3, 4 anymore. This has to be 1, 3, 5 now. So that is not a 2. Let's take out... Oh, and 4 is not there. So 4 is definitely up here. If that's a 7, we've got a 2 there and a 1 in here, which would put a 1 there. If that's an 8, this is a 4, 3, 1 triple. So actually we're not resolved yet. Interesting. I thought that was going to get done. Now, does that 1, 3, 5 triple do anything? Rest of the row. Can't have a 2 in there because there's a 1, 2 in the box in the region already. That's not very interesting. Now, let's remember the law of leftovers, which can be helpful sometimes. So, the way that works is, let's consider the first 3 columns of the grid. They obviously contain the digits 1 to 9 each. It's in the rules, so they must. But then let's consider these 3 regions that I've just highlighted. Again, they must contain the digits 1 to 9. Now, the only difference between those 2 sets is that one group includes those 2 cells, and the other group includes those 2. And that means whatever's in those 2 is in these 2. And the only thing I'm deducing from that is that 4 and 5 are in these 3 cells because they're not candidates now for those 2 cells, which is interesting but not conclusive about anything. Now, I've only just noticed the region shapes in this puzzle are beautifully symmetrical. I hadn't actually seen that before. If you rotate it through 90 degrees, the regions will look exactly the same. So we can do the same for those 2 cells are the same as those 2. They don't include a 2, so that doesn't have a 2. And therefore they're from 1, 3, 4 or 5, and using the arrow rule, this is 3, 5, 6 or 7, which is not thrilling. But maybe we can pull the same... Oh, where does 9 go in this region? Actually, I haven't really used the 9s at all. I've got loads of 9s. Yes, okay, where does 9 go in this region? That's simple. Sorry, if you did that as your first digit in the grid in the first second, you'll be thinking that I'm a bit of a numpty, and I don't mind that. Now, 9 in this cage can't be in those cells because of these 9s, or that one because of this. So that's a 9. I might be able to finish all the 9s straight away, and I just haven't even noticed. We've got 2 rows left. Hang on. Why does it feel to me that I've only got 1 column and 2 rows? I don't have 2 rows. I've only got that cell left to be a 9. So we are done with the 9s, and they were absolute giveaway that I wasn't accepting. Fine. Now, what else? Now, what about this 20? 8, 7, 6, 5 adds up to 26. That's not that useful. This one hasn't... Ah, hang on. This is either 5, 1, 4, 5, 2, 3, or 4, 1, 3. Now, that's an interesting set of combinations. What I was thinking about is if this can be a 6. Now, for that to be a 6, this is either a 2, 4, or a 1, 5 pair. But neither of those are possible if this is 5, 2, 3, because that uses 5 and 2. If this is 5, 4, 1, because that uses 4 and 5. Or if it's 4, 1, 3, because that uses 1 and 4. So that is not a 6. And therefore this one is not an 8. I wish I could do the same trick again, but I think 7 and 8 have a few more possibilities. Now I'm finally just noticing the law of leftovers on the first 2 columns. It's going to leave those cells out of the regions at the top left and bottom left. And those 2 cells will be the same as these 5 cells that are in the columns, 3 and 4. I don't know what that means. That means they must contain a 1 and a 2 and only 1 of each, but that doesn't feel very powerful. So no, let's not think about that. Just to confirm, on the other side we've got that group being the same as those and those, but we've got the 9. It doesn't feel that useful. Okay. Any horizontal ways of cutting the puzzle? If you cut the bottom 3 rows, what do you get? Okay, you get those 4 cells dipping into the bottom to match those 4 cells sticking out, but again, that doesn't look immensely useful to me. Yeah, I'm getting a bit stuck for inspiration here now. 1, 2, 3. Is that doing any more than I... Oh, there's got to be an 8 in one of these cells because of this 6, 7, 8 pattern, and that can't be an 8. That means there has to be an 8 in this region in one of these 3, which I could have... Oh, look, there's a 1, 3, 4, 5 quad now. Plus 2, 9 leaves these 3 to be 6, 7, 8. Ah, that's better. Okay, so one of... Ooh, there isn't a 1 there or there because both of these arrows need a 1. So the 1 in this region is definitely on this arrow, and that is going to rule out 4 from this cell. It's either 1 and 1 from this cell, okay, that's slight advance. Now we've got this 6, 7, 8. Oh, well, that can't be a 6 because of 6, 7, 8 being there. So actually this is a 5. That was a more straightforward deduction that I missed as well. But so this is a 3, 1 pair. It's got to be now, hasn't it? Yeah, 5, 3, 1 adds up to 9. So this is a 2. These aren't. Oh, I don't think this can be a 3 because the minimum there is 6, the maximum there is 8. So that's a 1. Then we get 3 in the cage. One of those is now a 7 because it's either 6 plus 1 is 7 or 7 plus 1 is 8. So that's not 7. Now 6 is in one of those 2 cells, so that's not a 6. This is now a 2, 4 pair, I think. Yes. 9, 2, 4, 5. Let's look up the column. We're going to definitely get a 1 and 6, 7 or 8 at the end. Ooh, we've also got a 1 X-wing sort of thingy going on there. Excuse my technical lingo. No, I don't know what to do with that. What about this region, which seems to be... Oh, look, there's a 6, 7, 8 triple in the row. So 5's in one of these 2 cells, along with a little digit below it. I can't quite get a handle on this yet. The region shapes are just a little too odd for me to really get a complete grip on. Now, this was going to contain 9, 1, 2 and 2 other digits, and it's the same as here. Ooh, those are the only places where the 2 can be. So 1, oh no, 2 says that's not a 2. So since those 5, by the law of leftovers, are the same as those 5, and that's done by comparing columns 1 and 2 with the 2 shapes. And there's got to be a 2 in these, but there's a 2 in one of those 2, and therefore these perimeters aren't 2, and that's not a 2 because of that. This is a 2. Now we know that this is a 5. That's a 4. These aren't 4. Oh, and they're also not 1. So that's a 2, 3 pair. This is 1 or 4. That's 1 or 4. Come on, keep going. 2 and 3. Where's 3 in this cage, in this region? Interesting, because that pair says not in row 7, column 1. And this one rules out all of those, and it doesn't apparently fit in the cage. So that's a 3. And one of these 2 is a 3, but we know that there's a 3 on that arrow, so we can get a 3 in there. That's fixed the 1 and 3 pair. That fixes the 2 and 1 pair, I reckon. Now, what else? Oh, we must have a clue on these. They can't be 2, 5 or 3, 4. So if that's a 7, it's 1, 6. And if that's an... oops, 1 6 is what I said. If that's an 8, it's got to be 1 7. So that is a 1. And this arrow is very like that one. But if that was a 6, this would be 1 6 7. And you'd need another 6 to make up the total. So that's pure hogwash. 4, 5 and 6. That is a 5 or 6. This one can't be 5, so that's a 4 or 6. Now we've got a pair there, which fixed that as a 5, and this is a 1. Ooh, now those can't have a 1 in. Nor can that, so that's not 3. This is a 3, 4, 5 triple. Still not getting much going on this. I suppose I'm going to fill in the candidates there. But still the minima is... the minimum's now 14. So none of the digits away from that minimum, 6, 8, 9, 10, 14, can be more than 2 higher. So that can't be a 5 or a 4. And in fact, we know where 4 is in the cage now. Doesn't tell us what that is. It tells us this isn't a 4, so no 6 there. So one of these is a 5. And now we know this cage doesn't have a 5 in, or a 9. Anything else? Oh, that 4 is looking straight at this 2, 4 pair. That 2's looking there. Now it's a 4, 1, 3 triple. That is an 8. They are not. That didn't help the degrees of freedom issue. Oh, this one also, 6, 8, 9, 10. That can't be more than 2 more than the minimum, so that's 4 or 6. Oh, because of whatever this is, these two are the same. So they can't be 3s. That would be 2, 5, 8, 14, 18 at a minimum. So those two are 1s. Wow, that's really clever. That's a lovely way of resolving those. This, let's get rid of the corner mark. That's a 3, 5 pair. Hasn't got a 3, 5 pair here, but it hasn't resolved this. No. Now in this region, 3, 1, 9. That is 6, 7 or 8. These can't have a 5 in. These can't have an 8 in. Oh, they can't have a 6 in either, because that's a pair. In fact, it's not just a pair. That has become a 6 probably when I first found the pair. That's fixed the whole of this set. 8, 7, 6. Oh, this is brilliant. Now here we go. They're not 7s. 2, 4 and 5. That's become a 4. Got a 2, 5 pair here. That's become a 6 because of the 4. That becomes an 8. Oh, it's all getting resolved now. Everything is bouncing back to clean itself up. 4 and a 7. Now this has become a 6, 8 pair. In fact, we know which way round. This 2, 3 pair's resolved. That fixes the 2, 5 pair. And 7 and 5 is done. Got a 1 to go in the cage. Never mind about the cage. We'll get to that. 7 there makes this a 5. So that is, it feels like our last arrow clue finished. This is a 6 to complete the column. Now, 3, 5, 6, 9 add up to 23, plus 20 is 43. Now, do you know what cage adds up to? Definitely 45, because that's the sum of 1 to 9. It's a big secret, but we do let people know occasionally. Now, 7 and 6 there. That gives us 7 and 1 here. 8 and 4 still to be resolved there. Just checking the maths. Yes, that looks like it works. Now, 6, oh, that's a 4. Oh, let's look up the column. 5, 7 and 8. No, I don't know the order, but that does make this in the region a 6. So let's look up the region. Right, yes, 5, 4, 2. Now, these two add up to 11. They're not 2, 9, 4, 7 or 5, 6. They are 8, 3. 8, 4 have got fixed. We get a 1 here. Just checking. 6, 8, 9, 10, 16. That is all good. This is a 5, 7 and 8. And we get a 7 here. And a 3, no, a 6 to finish off. And that is Yaroslav's regional arrows puzzle done. I hope he gets to see it one day, and at a time when he can enjoy it. But as always, thank you very much for watching on the channel. We love the community that you are. Do be kind in the comments, even to me, and certainly to Yaroslav. And very much hope to see you again soon on the channel. Bye for now.